British actor Matt Smith has recently been stealing scenes on HBO's House of the Dragon series, even though it's just begun. Matt plays Daemon Targaryen, brother of the king and another person who believes he should be heir to the throne. Smith is best known for his role in the iconic BBC sci-fi show Doctor Who, which he was cast in at age 26, and at first he was skeptical of playing Daemon on House of the Dragon. There's a lot more to know about Matt Smith, such as how he got into this new and epic role, as well as his early years and rise to fame. So stay tuned, because we'll be getting into all of that and more here for you on Famous Life. Matthew Robert Smith was born in Northampton, Northamptonshire in England on October 28, 1982, mother Lynn Smith and father David Smith. He has an older sister, Laura Jane Smith, who's one of the dancers in the popular music video Call on Me by Eric Prydz, which was released in 2004. Matt attended a state secondary school, Northampton School for Boys. He excelled at sports at an early age, playing youth football or soccer for the Americans, for teams Northampton Town FC, Nottingham Forest FC, and Leicester City FC. He also became captains of the latter's youth team. While Matt had plans to play professional football, and his grandfather also played football for Notts County, he had a serious back injury resulting in spondylosis, which changed Matt's plans. Since Matt was now unable to continue a sports career, he turned to acting. In fact, his cousin Lee Killick taught drama class at his school and suggested he play a role in a school play. He signed Matt up for theatrical productions without his consent, and after he didn't participate the first 2 times, his cousin finally arranged for him to play the 10th juror in the school's production of 12 Angry Men. This time, it sparked an interest in acting for a young Matt. However, after he took part, he didn't want to attend a drama festival because he still pictured himself as a football player. Smith believed acting would ruin his social life. Lee persisted, and with that, Matt was finally convinced to join the National Youth Theatre in London, where his first onstage roles included Thomas Becket in Murder in the Cathedral and a role in The Master and the Margarita. After graduating high school, Matt went on to study drama and creative writing at the University of East Anglia and graduated from there in 2005. His role in The Master and Margarita would be the one that also landed him an agent, as well as one of his first professional jobs, Fresh Kills and On the Shore of the Wide World. This led Matt to ask for an agreement with his university so he could graduate without attending lectures during his last year. Smith's first role in TV was playing Jim Taylor on the BBC series The Ruby and the Smoke and the Shadow in the North, and his first major TV gig was when he played Danny Foster on the BBC show Party Animals. This show is about fictional Parliament advisors and researchers, and Matt's character was a smart but timid politics geek. In an interview, Matt explained his character as having a romantic outlook of the political world while being cynical in other areas. He spoke about Danny's emotional and intellectual maturity. Emotionally, he lacks confidence around women, but Smith portrayed him as a caring and sensitive, but wry, sarcastic, and witty romantic. At age 26, Matt would become the youngest actor to be cast as the lead in the hit sci-fi show Doctor Who. He was revealed as the 11th Doctor to play him in January 2009, replacing David Tennant in the role, and Matt was a relatively unknown actor compared to the others that were said to be in the running for the role. Smith was one of the earliest actors to audition for it, and he performed on the first day, where the production team immediately singled him out based on his impressive performance. After 3 weeks of auditions, it was agreed that the role had quote-unquote always been Matt, and they approached him to accept it. Some fans of Doctor Who thought that Matt was too inexperienced for the role due to his age, while others were accepting of it and thought he was a great actor. For his performance in the first series, Smith was nominated in the Outstanding Drama Performance category National TV Awards, and he's the first actor in that role to receive a nomination for a British Academy Television Award for Best Actor. When talking about his Doctor Who character, Matt said, "The Doctor is excited and fascinated by the tiniest of things. By everything. By every single thing. That's what's wonderful about him as a character. It's why children like him, I think, because he doesn't dismiss anything. He's not cynical. He's open to every single facet of the universe." In June 2013, BBC announced that Smith would leave Doctor Who at the end of that year's Christmas special. After Doctor Who wrapped, Matt's next big role would come in 2016 with The Crown. In June 2015, he was cast in the role of Prince Philip in the Netflix royal drama and portrayed him in the series' first 2 seasons. His role in The Crown earned him a nomination for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, and it would further get him noticed for his current role in House of the Dragon. While Matt was working on his TV series, he did dabble in film as well. well. He was in some movies including Womb in 2010, Lost River, which was Ryan Gosling's directorial debut in 2014, and supporting role as Skynet in Terminator Genesis a year later. In 2019, he joined the cast of the Spider-Man universe spin-off Morbius as Milo, a living vampire, but when it was released in 2022, the film received negative reviews. However, Smith's performance did get some praise from critics. In 2021, Matt also appeared in the Edgar Wright film Last Night in Soho. Since Matt got his start in theater acting, he never quite left that behind either. At the start of his acting career, he was in plays such as The History Boys as well as Swimming with Sharks alongside Christian Slater, which was his West End debut. In 2007, Matt was in the play That Face and ultimately became his second role in a West End production, while the entire cast of this play was nominated for an award too. In 2013, Matt played Patrick Bateman in the musical version of American Psycho at the Almeida Theatre in London, and his most recent onstage role was in the play Lungs in 2019. 2020 was when Matt was officially cast as Daemon Targaryen in the House of the Dragon series, which, as you likely know, is a prequel to the hit fantasy show Game of Thrones. While this marks a huge role for Matt, at first he was skeptical about taking it on. He admitted that he wasn't sure how the series could follow up such a success like Game of Thrones, and it could be an intimidating task for the actor. During a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Matt shared his reasoning for joining the cast as well as his love for his co-star Paddy Considine. He said, "I was in a car park and my agent said there's this part in this new show that's a prequel to Game of Thrones, and I was like, oh, I don't know, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one to follow. Haven't we seen this before?" But then the offer sort of didn't go away. Then it came up again, and then I went in for a screen test, and then that was that. I became aware that Paddy Considine was doing the show as well. He'd already been offered the role of King Viserys, and I was a huge admirer of Paddy's, and I'd always wanted to work with him. So that was a real draw. And on the other side, when the producers on House of the Dragon began to think about who to cast in the important role of Daemon Targaryen, who's the enigmatic prince, Matt's name kept popping up. Showrunner Miguel Sapochnik said, "We were like, Matt Smith would be interesting. Then it was like, we should come up with some names. Matt Smith would be interesting. Then later it was, well, we should probably go with Matt Smith at this point." And the other showrunner, Ryan Condal, added, "I was a big fan of The Crown, and the performance Matt put on in those 2 seasons told me everything you needed to know about the actor. He can disappear into those roles." Oddly, Prince Philip shares some crossover traits with Daemon. Critic and fans alike have praised Smith's performance as a strong draw for the new show, which debuted to a record 10 million viewers when it aired in August 2022. In terms of Matt's character, Daemon seems to be typical of what fans would expect from the Targaryen family, and Smith couldn't wait to bring this role to life. He said, "And then there's so many elements to Daemon. I love the relationship with his brother. He's a brilliant character because you never know what he's thinking. I like the ambiguity of that. There's a ruthlessness in his personality that I thought was really interesting to see characters who behave that badly. But in many ways, he comes from what he thinks is quite a genuine place." So far, what Matt thinks has been the biggest challenges for him in the role were the stunts, which there were a lot of, as well as the large group scenes. He spoke about this, explaining, "It's a big 10-month shoot, so physically it was really draining. But there are those big scenes where you sit around the table that are quite challenging because there's so many characters to cover and it takes days, and you've got to remain sharp and focused." Well, regardless, it seems that Matt Smith will prove to be the ideal choice for Daemon in House of the Dragon, and it's likely going to get the talented actor even more well-known with global audiences. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Famous Life and leave a comment for who you'd like us to feature next.